Welcome back to day 3 of the Ashtanga primary series tutorial for beginners.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? I am so ready.
Yes.
So in the last 2 tutorials we were doing a lot of standing postures. So today we will finish the standing sequence and then we will start with just a few seated postures, and then from tomorrow onwards we will continue with the seated sequence. Are you guys ready? Okay, so yesterday we finished with Virabhadrasana, either the full version of it or for beginners as a modification, maybe just in a tree. So once you've completed both sides, you come back into Samastitihi, and Katie will demonstrate for you how the sequence continues after this one. So you come into Samastitihi, again make sure your body is nice and lengthened, you really activate your whole body, you activate your thighs, your glutes, your buttocks, your belly, engage the locks, Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha. Make sure the breathing, the Ujjayi breathing is still active. And with the next inhale, you bring your arms all the way up. And with the exhale, you fold forward. Inhale, come into halfway lift. Exhale, step back or jump back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or mini cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. We will not stay in downward facing dog, but exhale here fully and jump or step forward into a chair pose straight away. So inhale, you stay in chair pose. Make sure the back is not in a hollow way. So really make sure the hips are really tucked forward. You can keep your arms separate, or you can keep them together. Traditionally, you would gaze up to the thumbs. So you stay here for 5 breaths, and after the 5th breath, you come into a forward fold. Inhaling. Actually, from here, and that's the difference, you don't come back up into halfway lift, but you actually go straight into Chaturanga. Then you lower down, then you come into an upward facing dog or cobra with the inhale. Exhaling, downward facing dog. With the inhale, you step the right leg forward, and we're coming into the warrior poses. So the first one is warrior 1. So no, the first one is this one, exactly. So the warrior 1 posture, Virabhadrasana 1, is the one where you bring the hips forward, so they're square and parallel to the mat. Make sure the thigh, the front thigh, is parallel to the mat. So yes, make sure you really go deeply into it. Yeah. And the knee is stacked right on top of the ankle, so make sure it doesn't go above or below the ankle. So here you can actually go a little bit deeper. Yes. And you will be working over the time on lengthening that back leg as well, and really pressing both feet evenly into the mat. You can even gaze up to the thumbs as well. After the 5th breath, you keep your arms up and just turn around to the other side. Warrior 1 on the other side, and here is the same thing, alignment. Thigh parallel to the mat, knees stacked right on top of the ankle, both feet evenly pressing into the mat. The hips are square and facing the front edge of the mat. After the 5th breath, you keep the leg where it is, but open up to warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. And here again, thigh parallel to the mat. Try not to collapse inwards, but really keep that leg nice and even. Knee above the ankle. This time the hips are opening up to the long edge of the mat. The arms fully extended. Imagine how energy is pulling you, both fingers. The gaze goes to the middle finger, the front middle finger. And working on that lengthening of the back leg. After the 5th breath, you turn around to the other side, warrior 2, on the right side. Beautiful. The gaze nice and steady and calm. Really relax the shoulders here. And after the 5th breath, you cartwheel your arms around, you frame that front leg, and then you step back into plank, Chaturanga Dandasana, inhaling upward facing dog, exhaling down facing dog. Now we're coming into the seated sequence. As a beginner, you probably will not be able to jump through, so you can just step forward or maybe slightly jump, crossing the legs, something like this, and just coming into a seated posture. The first posture is you actually extend your legs, you bring your hands to the mat as far as you can, you really relax the shoulders here, you activate your legs, make them really strong, flexing the toes, and slightly bending the chin, bring the chin down to the chest, and focusing on that Ujjayi breathing here, activating the locks, the Mula Bandha and the Uddiyana Bandha. Beautiful. And sometimes the palms, they cannot reach the mat, and that's totally fine. And after the 5th breath, with the inhale, you try to bring the peace fingers around the big toes. If you are hunching over or the spine is not straight, don't fold forward. You can also, as a beginner, just place the hands on the shins and really work on that spine lengthening, the elongation of the spine. Otherwise, if you have the flexibility and the reach, grab big toes and fold forward. And after the 5th breath, the second variation is with the inhale, you come up into lengthening like this, and exhale, you grab to the outer edge of the feet. If the first version is enough for you, you just stay there. Otherwise, if you want a bit of a challenge, you can come into this variation. The third variation is, again, inhaling, you come up, and you can even keep your hands where they are with the coming up. And then with the, let's do it again. So that's the second option. You keep your hands where they are, inhale, lengthen here, you open up the chest, and exhale, you bend forward, and the third version would be to grab onto the wrist. And again, if the first or the second version is enough for you, you just repeat the first or the second one, or if you want to challenge yourself, you go into the third one. And here, after the 5th breath, inhaling, come up, really open up the chest here, and exhale, and that's what we call a vinyasa, is we do a sequence where you bring the feet and the legs closer to your body. And the reason for that is we want to come into a high plank and into a chaturanga and into upward facing dog, downward facing dog. That's what we call a vinyasa. So as a beginner, you just cross your legs here and you come onto your knees, and then you can just step back into high plank, lower down into chaturanga, inhale into cobra or upward facing dog, exhaling downward facing dog, and then again you can jump through or maybe step through into seated posture. And tomorrow we'll continue with the seated postures, And if you feel that from the beginning of the sequence up until now, that's enough for you, for now, then just repeat that little sequence over and over and over again until you find you're comfortable and you have enough energy to continue with the practice. Otherwise, just keep practicing and all is coming.
Maybe you want to show the vinyasa how it looks like, the real.
I mean, I cannot do it perfectly as well, but maybe once you progress with the vinyasas, you bring the feet and the legs close to the body, you lift yourself up, and then eventually you will be able to jump back, and then you come into an upward facing dog, downward facing dog, and then from here you can someday jump through. But again, I'm not doing it perfectly either. So just really see whatever you can, what's possible for your body, and really take care. Anything else to say?
No, we say goodbye in sitting posture because this is where we're gonna.
Okay.
This is where I'm gonna continue.
All right. See you tomorrow then.
Bye.
Bye.